Okay guys, welcome to another Mamemeister look at. Today I'm going to be looking at, it's the GPD-XD. Now this is an Android based console that comes from China. Now there's quite a lot of these things out there. I mean, they've been making a lot of these consoles over the years. A lot of them are absolute garbage, but a few of them are pretty good. Now one of the sort of popular ones was the GXD, which came out about 2-3 years ago. Now I've got one of these, and in fact I've recently done a video of it, and I've got to say it's really good. But the big deal breaker for me about the GXD is the two thumbsticks. They're just your fingers slide off them all the time. That plus the battery power is pretty crap. But apart from that, it's really nice. But one of my mates actually posted a link to this GPD-XD, so I thought I'd take a wee look at it. Now funnily enough, I actually showed it to Mark, Lactobacillus Prime, because he is the king of handhelds, and he was initially not too sure about it, but he went ahead and ordered one. He got it last week and he did a fantastic review of it, which I'm going to put a link down below. So he was made up with it, he couldn't stop raving about it. So I actually ordered this 3 weeks ago, I think it was 20 days ago I ordered it. Now it does retail in the UK, you get 3 different versions. You get the 16 gig, you get the 32 and you get the 64 one. Now I ordered this from, it's a Chinese company. I got the 32 gig one and I got it for £75 less than you'd pay in the UK. Now the only one thing I need to emphasise guys is you do run the risk of getting hit for VAT, so you do take a bit of a chance, but I took my chance. I thought 75 quid in my pocket, I'll take the chance, and it arrived today. So anyway, enough of me completely waffling. Very quickly, I'm not one for going in for unboxings and that kind of stuff, but this is the box, a rather cheeky little sort of chappy in the back there. When you smell, the world loves him. When you laugh, the world fears him. Anyway, it comes in quite a sturdy wee box, magnetic. Open it up and you can see a little picture of the unit itself. Inside you've got a little piece of foam. You've got the charger, you've got, what's this, you've got the little micro USB charger, and you've also got the 2-prong charger. Now I do believe it will charge using any sort of standard mobile phone battery. You've got the unit itself, and you've also got the instructions, which apparently are in English. I've not even looked at them. Well, these are in Japanese, but I think they might be in English, aren't they? Is this all in Japanese? Well no, it is, it's Japanese and English, so there you go. Now the reason I'm actually talking quite low is because I'm making this quite late at night, so right, anyway, that's the box. Let's take a look at the actual unit itself. Now I've obviously been playing it for a wee while. It only arrived today, so I've been putting it through its paces. The actual unit itself is very, very, very similar to the 3D Nintendo 3DS. Very, very similar form factor. Now this is the 32 gig one. It says it on the back there. 32 gig, so it must be. Well, I've checked and it is. On the back you've got the right one button, very clicky. You've got R2, not quite so, well it is quite clicky. You can put a micro SD card. I've got a 64 gig one in there. You can put up to a 128, I think it is. You've got the micro USB, you've got the micro HDMI, so you can actually output this onto a big telly. You've got your output for your headphones, and then you've got your L2 and L1. You can hear how clicky that is. On the front there's absolutely nothing, and on the top there's nothing again. You can see it looks really nice, really nice colour. So yeah, let's take a look at it. Now it's quite a shiny screen, and it's very susceptible to fingerprints. Now funnily enough, when Mark got his, he did mention there was a big dirty fingerprint on it, and this is exactly the same. On the front here, what have you got? You've got the select button, you've got start, you have got back button, you've got home button, you've got A, X, Y and B. Now they do feel very, very solid, just nice, feel really responsive. The little D-pad, some people have been criticising it, saying it's quite small. I think it actually plays fine. I've been playing quite a few platformers today with this and it feels absolutely perfect. One of the real clinchers for me with this thing is the D-pads have got these lovely, I suffer from very dry hands, but these D-pads have got a rubber coating, so they're very, very sticky on the thumb, so there's no way your thumb is going to slide off that. They feel really good, very, very similar to the PSP, not the PSP, the PS Vita I should say. You've also got, rather than clicking for L3, you've got an L3 button there. Now some people have criticised that, saying it's not a very good place to put it, but I don't know that many games that actually use these things. So you've got L3 button there, and you've got R3 button there, you've got volume up and down, on off. That, I think that kind of brings up a menu, and this actually selects, it allows you to basically map on-screen controls with actual controls. You've also got, it's stereo, so you've got your left and right speakers here, and this little bit here is just a little plate, so that technically you can see there it's slightly raised, so when this closes it should in theory stop the screen hitting off the gamepad. So anyway, let's power the thing on. And I'm going to see if I can zoom in a wee bit. I usually make a complete arse when I do this. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to leave that sitting like so, and then we shall try and zoom in, preferably so you don't see my face. There we go, that's not too bad. Hopefully that can give you a decent representation of how it looks. You can see there, oops, it's just gone to sleep again. GPD Gamepad Digital, so that's what it stands for. And like it's always got a touch screen, just swipe it across like so. Is that going to zoom in? Not zoom in, is that? That looks sharp enough. Now it's kind of set up like a Windows tablet. It's all tile based. Now I don't know if you can take this off, but I've been using it, for the last couple of hours, and I've got to say it's pretty good. On the front you've got this rather odd piece of software called Happy Chick. Now Happy Chick, actually it's, in fact I need to put my Wi-Fi on, just give me a wee second. So swipe down and Wi-Fi, pink. It's actually very, very sensitive, which is good. Just wait for that to connect. There we go. So that's the Wi-Fi on. Now this Happy Chick, it's thoroughly illegal, but what it is it's basically, it's like imagine it like an app store, but everything is free. Not now, don't want to update that just now. And what you can basically do is, you can see here, you've got home, you've got categories, you've got Android. You can basically go along and like that's into categories. You can see games there for arcade, PC Engine, Dreamcast. You can basically just pick games and down them, and it'll just download them, obviously using the Wi-Fi. So it basically means that you can use this without having to get any ROMs from anywhere. But I've got the full collection, so I've got my own stuff on it. As well as ROMs, you've also got Android, you'll see here in a second. So there we go, you've got Grand Theft Auto, Vice City, Need for Speed, Most Wanted. These are all games that you can download. FIFA 12, completely free. Obviously they're hugely illegal, this, but this seems to be a feature that goes on a lot of these Chinese tablets, and it is actually pretty good, I've got to say, especially if you're not too sure about how to configure emulators. There are already emulators built in. So that is Happy Chick. There's probably more detailed, if you watch Mark's video, he does give you a bit more information about Happy Chick, but I just really want to let you see some of the games working. So that's Happy Chick. Press the back button and that'll take us back out, like so. Now you'll see along the top here it's got emulator. So let's move up, emulator. So if I pick emulators, sorry, right, we're already in the emulator screen. So yeah, we've got a happy chick. If you come down to the bottom, you've got arcade. So these are different games. You can just pick arcade games and it'll actually download them on the fly. You've got N64 games. You have got, what's that? SFC, what's that stand for? Oh, that's the Super Nintendo, I think it is. You've got Dreamcast games, you've got PS1. So these are basically games and emulators that are already pre-configured for you. If you click on, go up to game at the top, you see there you've got games that you can just download: Wind Up Night, BB Racing, Virtua Tennis. Now I've actually installed Virtua Tennis. I'm going to let you see that just now actually. It is excellent. This will just let you see just how powerful this actually is. Turn it up a wee bit so you can hear it. So we'll go to exhibition match. Now I've got the sound turned down a wee bit. I'll just turn it a wee bit. Now you need to I'll apologise now. I'm trying to play this obviously. Without holding it in my hand, which doesn't make it very easy. But you can see there the quality graphics. I would say it's PS3, Xbox 360 quality, without a shadow of doubt. The screen in this thing is lovely, it really is. Yep, that is Virtua Tennis that's come out. So yeah, there's tons of games you can download. If you go up to application, you can either touch it with your finger or else use the keypad. This is where you've got all the other sort of stuff. Now I've actually downloaded, oops daisy, I've downloaded all the emulators that I've bought before. So you've got your 2600, Game Boy Color, MAME, etc, etc. So let me just take you through the emulators just to give you a flavour of just how good this thing is. So 2600, and we go to load game, and let's go for Pac-Man. Just turn down the sound a wee bit, this is quite a noisy game. I'm probably in the minority for actually liking this game. It was the first video game I ever got to play, and for that reason I love this game to bits. I always think it got a bad press, unfairly. So yeah, there's the Atari 2600. Perfect. Do you want to quit? Yes. Next one, I mean you've got, it's a tablet, so you've got your stuff like your BBC News, your browser, etc. Now I've not actually tried the C64 one, let's just have a shot and see if I can get it working. Frogger 64. Right, okay, I need to actually set that up. You've got to copy some files across, so that's, I can't let you see that one, but I'm sure the emulation is spot on. You've got your stuff like Facebook and all that. Game Boy Advance. Let's go for recent games. Gradius. Well, you can either, it automatically saves, so you can either restart the game from the beginning or just click on continue. So I'll just go for continue. But I've got to say, the controls on this machine are fantastic. Now I know it seems that every one of these, the next one of these Android things I get, I seem to say it's the best one ever. Well, I can honestly say that this is fantastic. Don't get me wrong, there is one thing that I would change about this, or I'm not keen on it, but I'll show you that later on. but the actual form factor, the quality build, the buttons, the control, the sound is just fantastic. Ah, bollocks. You really need to try and get some power-ups pretty quick. Anyway, that's the Game Boy Advance. Again, that is absolutely spot on. Next one, you've got the Game Boy Color oblique Game Boy. So this will play either Game Boy, original Game Boy games or Game Boy Color. So let's just go to recent games. So I have got Tetris, one of my favourite games. Let's just go for continue. And it's got the classic sound. Oops, a daisy. Ah, balls. Yep, playing behind a viewfinder is not recommended. Ah, damn it. A fantastic game this one. Anyway, that's Tetris. Really exit, yes. But I'll show you a Game Boy Color game. Go back in, and you'll go to load the game, and I'll come out to Game Boy Color. Let me think. Ghosts and Goblins. One thing I love about these emulators, and this machine in particular, is you put the emulator on and it just works. All you have to do is basically install the emulator and then point to where the ROMs are stored, and that is it. Okay, are we going to actually get a zombie? There we go. This is the first time I've ever played the Game Boy Color version of this, and it's actually not bad. I would probably say it's slightly easier than every other version I've ever played. Spoke too soon. Yeah, that's the Game Boy Color one, so press the home button to take us out. Next one, that's Atari ST. Now I've not configured that one yet. Next one is a biggie for me, and it's MAME. There are two different versions of MAME. There's a MAME for all pink one, which is the most up to date one, and then there's a blue one which only supports, I think it's version, is it 37.5 ROMs, so it's kind of old stuff. But this one does everything that the blue one does, so this is probably the best one to go for. Now, here we go, one of my favourite games, the Mighty Terra Cresta. Let's put I'll turn it up a wee bit. Now I'll be honest, this is the only one thing it's not bad, it's the only slight disadvantage to this machine, and it's because it's got a 5-inch screen. It means that games like this are quite small. So if you've not got very good eyesight, then you might actually struggle to play horizontal games, or sorry, vertical games. Don't get me wrong, it's perfectly playable and the screen is so razor sharp, the picture looks amazing, but it is quite small. So that is the only downside to this console that I can see. I mean, the GXD has got a lovely big 7-inch screen, which is amazing, but you know, this is better than the GXD in every other category as far as I'm concerned. And the fact that I actually got this for less than a GXD costs, you know, then it's a bit of a no-brainer. I mean, I've still got my GXD and I'll probably hang on to it. Now, one thing I need to not forget to mention is the battery life in this. Now, when it arrived about 2 o'clock today, it had, I think it was 72% battery. Now, I've been playing this for, I don't know, I would say a good couple of hours since I got it today, and the battery is still about, I think it's about 40%. So that is Terra Cresta. Let's go back and look at something else. And again, I do apologise for talking quite low, but my wife's in her bed and my daughter's sleeping, so I'm having to keep the noise down. Right, what I'll do is I'll let you see, let's go for another one of my favourite games. And it's not Robotron. In fact, let's try a Street Fighter game. Let's try Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. This should be quite a taxing game, so this will just... it doesn't like that. Mustn't have... No, it's got that one. Obviously you need to have all the ROMs. Street Fighter 2, right, okay, this is a standard Street Fighter. I obviously don't have the ROMs installed for the other versions. You're waiting that going through the wee disclaimer thing. Okay, right, so going in and start. Now they've actually got the screen fixed to the correct ratio. You can obviously stretch it to take up the full screen, but I prefer it like this. It's certainly large enough and it looks really nice. I'm absolutely bollocks at this game. And the great thing is it uses the shoulder buttons as well, so it means you've got access to all the separate buttons, all the separate moves I should say. So there's Street Fighter. Yeah, apologies, it just decided to cancel the recording for some reason. Right, where are you? Yeah, but a Rolling Thunder. Let's have a look at this. Now, I was playing this earlier on and it plays really nice. What I'm going to do is turn the sound up a wee bit so you can actually hear this. Now, I'm trying to play this through the viewfinder, which isn't very easy. Oh, that was close. And I've run out of bullets. It's just never a good idea. Anyway, listen, that's Mame. Let's come out of that. Cancel that. Press the home button to take us right out. Next one is the N64. Now I've not really tried this yet. Let's try. Now the game that's obviously you always see it, in fact I think it's actually used to advertise this, is Mario 64. So let's see how that works. Is it Super Mario 64? There we go, Super Mario 64. Play. Right, I'm just going to turn that sound down because obviously we don't want any copyright infringement going on. But I think they must upscale it for this thing because it looks really nice, it really does. The screen, I don't know how the screen's coming across in the video, but it's super vibrant, it's really high, I don't know what sort of resolution it's got, but it looks amazing, it really does. You can see there just how smooth everything is. Yep, it plays just exactly how you'd expect it to. Really sweet. Yep, that's N64. What else have we got? Nintendo game, not Nintendo, Neo Geo Game Pocket. Neo Geo Pocket I should say, recent games. Pac-Man, restart game. This is actually a really good version. Now the Neo Geo Pocket was a console I actually sold just a few weeks ago. The reason being is because you can't actually see the screen. It's non-backlit, but you know, why would you want to try and play something like that when you can play it on something like this? And it just looks absolutely glorious. Ah, bollocks. Yeah, that's the Neo Geo Pocket. It also plays the black and white games as well. You've got your normal Google Play Store, got your PC Engine, recent games and Gunhead, restart game. Again, as you'd expect, the emulation in this is just spot on. Let's stick the sound up a wee bit. But all these emulators, like I said, they come pre-configured. You can either use the gamepad or you can use a little analog nub. Both of them feel really good. Really responsive. It says the keys in this thing are excellent. I know that was something that Big Mark had reservations about. When I told him I was going to get one of these, he did say that he'd heard that the keys weren't very good. But like I said, when he got his, he was over the moon with it. But you can see there, again, emulation of this. Ooh, why is it going blurred? Why is it going blurred? That's better. Don't know why it went blurred there. Absolutely spot on. So that's the PC Engine, or Turbo Graphics if you're from the Japan, I think it is. Not sure what that is. The SNES, it does what it says in the tin. Recent games, international FIFA soccer. Let's just continue. Oops, I don't know what happened there, I pressed the button by accident. But absolutely no issues whatsoever. Yeah, apparently one of the big pluses of this machine is the battery. Apparently it'll last about 5 hours or so. In fact, I was mentioning the battery earlier on, wasn't I? Because, you know, what's the point of these having a portable handheld if the battery only lasts, you know, half an hour, whatever. Especially if you're going on a holiday somewhere in a plane, you're not going to be able to charge it. But this apparently has no such issues. So that is the SNES. Couple to go. The Spectrum. Now just bear with me, try to remember how to. That brings up the keyboard. Is it down the bottom you do it? These, obviously with these things you need to you need to try and figure out, wait a minute. No, it's not that. Select. So what we do is we go to select and then we go to open file, and here we go, there's Jetpack. Now to bring up it's always, these things are usually set to Kempson keyboard, so to bring up so Kempson is 4, press the Y button and then press 4, and then to start is 0, I think. No, it's 5, so there we go, and we should now be in business. If I can figure out how to shoot, there we go. Why do you need an Xbone 1 when you can buy yourself one of these? Absolutely perfect. Love it. Now I did actually have, what did I have? I had the NVIDIA Shield, which to be fair is very, very similar to this, but it's about 3 times the price, or at least twice the price. But it was quite clumsy to hold. This thing you could easily put in the back pocket, you know, it's very, very portable. Oops, I need to go and get my fuel down the bottom. But honestly, configuring these emulators is a piece of piss. So yeah, that is a Jetpack. Let's take a look at one last game. So you press select, and then we go to open file, and let's just go out. So we need to go up to the very top, like so, and then we shall go for, let's go for Mamemeister. What else? Now there are a few emulators which I've yet to configure, like the Amiga C64, but I don't have any doubts that they'll be absolutely perfect. So here's Mamemeister. There you go, portable Mamemeister, what more could you ask for? Let's see if I can do the first level through the viewfinder. This is always the bit that gets me. Oof. This is still a great game, it really is. still got it. Right, okay, that's the Spectrum one to go, guys. Yeah, Dreamcast as well up there. I've yet to configure that as well. In fact, yeah, I can maybe give it a quick go. This is the PlayStation. Now, rather than show you the front end, I'm just going to jump into the last game I was playing, which is Ridge Racer. Now, this looks amazing. Now, I know when Mark was looking at this, he was having a few frame rate issues. Now, this is just straight out the tin, and I've got to say, I don't notice any issues at all. But who'd have thought it 20 years ago that we'd be playing portable Ridge Racer? Just incredible. So that is it, guys. That is the GPD-XD, and like I says, you can buy it from some of the more popular sites in the UK, but be prepared to pay about £75 more. I actually got the 32 gig one for £75 less than it would cost in the UK. And it was also, the one I bought was, let me think, it was £45 less than the 16 gig one would cost in the UK. So if you're willing to take the chance and buying from abroad, then I would say absolutely go for it. Like I said, apparently you can no longer get import charges, but what you can get is VAT. When this comes into the country, the British Customs can charge you VAT in it, so you just need to be aware of that. But I was lucky enough not to get caught. The guys that I bought this off, they marked the value of this down as, I think it was €8, which was excellent. So that is it, guys. This is the GPD-XD. If there's any questions at all, please pop them below. Like I said, apologies, it's not a thorough review of it. Have a look at Mark's video. His is far better. It definitely lasts a lot longer, and he covers it in far more detail than I'm covering it. I just wanted to get this out tonight and let you see this beast in action, but I cannot recommend it highly enough. Absolutely fantastic little machine. Okay, don't go away quite just yet. It just dawned on me, I haven't actually shown you, in fact I didn't even have installed the Mega Drive, Dreamcast or Neo Geo emulators, so let's take a quick wee shot of this. Now, the Dreamcast emulator, I can't seem to get the buttons to hide, but like all these emulators, you've just got to kind of tinker about. So let's see, let's go for Daytona, USA. Turn this sound up a wee bit so you can hear it. Like a lot of these emulators, you've got to kind of tinker about with them until you get them just working fine, but the majority of them, especially the EMU emulators by Robert Bruglia, I think his name is, they're absolutely spot on. They just work straight out the box, they're excellent. But sadly he's not released a Dreamcast emulator yet. Right, how do we get through this? Cancel. If you start the game, yes, okay. So start. Press the start button. Single race. Notice there's a slight graphic corruption going on here. I don't think that's kind of overlaying the menu part, but it's not going to stop us playing it.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines.
think it's using the trigger at the top here, so interesting. But you can see there, the emulation and the smoothness is pretty flawless. Really, really nice. So this is one capable little machine. Oops, a daisy. I'm quite literally on fire. Oops, a daisy. It's madness. When I think back to the mid-90s, seeing Daytona running on like the huge big screens, it just blew my mind then to think that here we are, you know, 20 odd years later, we're now playing this sort of very arcade game on a portable handheld. Just mental. Oops. Right, okay, that's the Dreamcast emulator. I've tried a few other games and they seem to work just as well. So yep, let's come out and take a look at the last two emulators. The Amiga one still needs a bit of work done to it. I'm sure I'll get it working okay. Spectrum, PlayStation, where is it? Mega Drive, Neo Geo, here we go. Recent game, let's just go for Rabble. Let's come back out. Load game. Whoops, a daisy. The problem with all these emulators is you forget what button does what. Right, let's see, what do we want to play? Let's go for one of my favourites. It's, I can't even remember the name of it, but I'll find it. What on earth's it called? Viewpoint, there it is. But it just looks amazing on this screen, it really does. I can't emphasise how amazing looking this screen is. Okay, and you can see there, emulation is perfect. Unlike my playing skills. But the more I use this machine, the more I like it. There's really very little, in fact, like I say, the only slight thing I'm not keen on it is for vertical games the screen's a bit on the small side. But you know what, still usable, and apart from that, it's a fantastic little machine, it really is. This guy does not want to die. Whoops. Anyway guys, that's the Neo Geo. Right, very last one is the Mega Drive. There we go. MD. Load game. What will we go for? Castle of Illusion, there we go, that's a nice little game. It might look like a very childish game this, but it's excellent. If I could throw something, maybe not. Have I got to pick up something first? Not too sure. I think I have. Now I can lob apples, I think. Oops. Bollocks. But again, the emulation of this is perfect. Let's take a look at one last game in this. Nope. What shall we go for? Chase HQ2, I don't even know if that's any good or not. Whoops, a daisy. Load game. Chase, where are we? Chase HQ2. Oops, a daisy. It's probably not the best example of a Mega Drive game this, but okay, anyway, listen, that's it guys, that is the Mega Drive. So anyway guys, that is it. Thank you very much for watching.